My name is Nora Gámez Torres and I report on Cuba for El Nuevo Herald and Miami Herald. We're here at FIU where presidential candidate Hillary Clinton just gave remarks on Cuba in which she called for the lift of the embargo. In her own words, she said the embargo should go once and for all. She talked about the evolution of her views and how she ended up convinced that engagement was the best way to promote democracy, freedom, and changes in Cuba, and how she advised President Obama to lift the embargo. She said she would continue Obama's policy in relation with Cuba and that she would take executive actions to expand travel into Cuba. There was a lot of talk about families, the separation of Cuban families, and that she understood how deeply emotional and personal this issue was, and that there was indeed a debate on the island and in Miami, but she thought that Cuban Americans should engage with the Cuban in the island to help promote the civil society, the private sector, and human rights. She also mentioned Miriam Leiva, the Cuban dissident that was in the room. She also mentioned that the Cuban government has not responded to a plea for an independent review of Osvaldo Paya's death. At the end of the discourse talked about Latin America and the Hispanic vote, but I would say that was 10% of her speech. Most of her speech was centered about Cuba. And outside the performing arts centers where Clinton gave her remarks, more than 20 activists were protesting against Obama's policy, and now we know that that would be the same policy that Hillary Clinton would pursue if she's elected as president.